This Week in Army History. When you examine the U.S. Army's contribution to the development and training of military units around the world, it is important to note that a portion of the foundations that our Army, and in particular our Special Forces, are built on the actions and principles developed by a British officer serving in North America 250 years ago. Among American military historians, Major Robert Rogers and his Rangers have risen to almost cult-like status. Yet, when you look at Rogers' experiences gained while fighting the French and Indians across New York, New England, and Canada, you realize that his war record had far more losses than wins. One of the events that helped shape the Rangers' training was a skirmish that occurred near Lake Champlain in mid-January 1757. During a reconnoiter, Rogers and his men were ambushed by a superior force of French regulars. Rogers' force was met with a strong volley, and several of his men were killed or wounded on the spot, and Rogers himself suffered a head wound. The pitched battle lasted over 4 hours, with the Rangers using the elevated rocky terrain for cover. As darkness fell, Rogers' force was able to slip back through the woods and around the pursuing French detachment. It was noted later by a French captain that Rogers' men had a decided advantage on the retreat due to their use of snowshoes, while the French regulars were floundering in snow up to their knees. It was after this cold January conflict that Rogers created his now famous Rules of Ranging, 28 guidelines for how specialized or small units should operate in less than favorable conditions. They have become 28 rules that no Ranger should ever forget. This period playbook has been passed down through today's U.S. Army Rangers, with each Ranger still being issued an updated version of the Rules of Ranging.